everybody. Hello. We've got the gang of the most recent Fresh Takes back together. This is going to be a real simple and short one. This we might knock out in like 6 sessions simply because I don't know how long those movies are. But it's going to be a real quick one. We want to get it out before we did another one with Cameron quick. Little history here with just this anime. This will be the first one that all 3 people in the Fresh Takes have not seen. So that's going to be interesting. But 2, this has been in the works and should have been done since we did Gurren. Mike was like, we should really do Gurren. And then Mike was like, no, I mentioned Ava like 7 times. We should do Ava. And then we were going like, we should do Violet next. And I'm like, wait, I just finally saw Akame. We should do Akame. And then he messages like, please, we need to do Violet next. I'm like, all right, we're doing Violet next.
Yeah, I'm in the corner thinking of what animes I can get these boys to watch.
Yeah, she's messaging certain stuff in there, and then it's
hard because it's over 25 episodes or it has like multiple seasons, and I'm like, God damn.
I mean, like the longest one, I honestly think where like a lot of long season anime stop at 52 episodes. I think that would be if we were dead committed and everyone needed to do this, like we could get something out of every episode. I think that's the longest we would do. That would be pushing it.
Yeah,
but
I'm trying to keep it short.
Yeah, and this is for sure the first episode of anime I've ever seen where episode 1 is called episode 1.
Yep.
I'm looking for pictures for backgrounds. I'm like, there's no episode title. And the other thing before we start, Netflix. We need to have a chat. This is a Netflix original anime, and you don't have correct English subtitles.
Oh,
yeah. Because it's Netflix.
It's still it's still the subtitles for the Japanese. How is this a problem with your own anime?
That's why when JoJo went on Netflix, like Netflix is gonna fuck up that title somehow.
It's just like, you gotta be shitting me.
They'll have like multiple language tracks, but only one subtitles.
So dumb. All right. Yeah. All right. So, this is very much out of my own wheelhouse of anime that I normally watch. I'm a very emotional person, but I'm not much the let's get in the guts with the feels type of animes. So this is going to be a little rough for me. I've got a feeling from what we've seen.
You guys are more like in the action pack animes, so this is more up my alley.
Yeah,
I was going so far.
Me especially, Mike has got a lot more in the other region, but we're gonna see because I know nothing about this outside of now. I know why I recognize the main girl's voice because she was Elizabeth in 7 Deadly Sins, but most recently she was Makamon Kanshok's mom in Kill la Kill. So that's why I recognize her. But nice. Mike, go.
So here is the synopsis that I found on Wikipedia for the series. So the story revolves around auto memory dolls, people initially employed by a scientist named Dr. Orland to assist his blind wife Molly in writing her novels, and later hired by other people who needed their services. In the present time, the term refers to the industry of writing for others, so ghostwriters. The story follows Violet Evergarden's journey of reintegrating back into society after the war is over, as she is no longer a soldier, and her search for her life's purpose in order to understand the last words her mentor and guardian, Major Gilbert, had told her, "I love you." Boy, this episode, what a great pilot.
This episode should have been titled, I hope you're ready to cry, because you're going to cry.
Emotional damage.
I was like, man, I know this is more of a serious anime, and it's like Misal put in the chat while we were watching the Brooklyn Nine-Nine meme.
I was like, we're already a minute into this anime. And if anything happens to her.
And like, we were just talking, I was just mentioning this before the episode started. This might be one of the most beautifully animated things I've seen in my life. Yeah. This is, I believe, the first anime I've seen by the studio. What's the studio called again, Mike?
Kyoto Animation.
Yeah.
Holy balls. Just a scene overlooking on the street, looking at the brooches and like the swirling of it with the color, talking about his eyes. I'm like, oh, I've been watching a whole lot of like in my recent binge of stuff on my suggestions list. I've been watching a whole lot of like 2006 to 2009 anime. Some of them are very great, and then some of them are Elfen Lied. But oh boy,
Yeah.
this will be the closest, most likely for a long time, Fresh Takes re-up, because this was done in 2018. At the time of recording this, which will not take that long to do, it'll just take about a half year to upload because we're currently going to start doing the next one literally like a few weeks after this is done. But this is in 2022. And yeah, you can tell because all the sound effects are great. The voice acting is off the charts. And like, yeah, the start.
Yeah.
It's weird, but this thing is very, I would say not dense, not a lot of detail going on. It's just all character work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's
Like, ironically, Netflix originals, when it comes to animes, they slap. Like, they're really good. It's something, whatever Netflix does with anime is actually really good.
yeah. The only time it goes bad is when you get season 2 of or season 3 of Seven Deadly Sins, when A1 Pictures goes, that movie didn't perform well,
Okay,
so screw
we
you
don't
guys.
talk about that, and we don't talk about the live action of Death Note that Netflix decides to do, and we don't talk about the live action Cowboy Bebop that Netflix decided to do. But Netflix original animation is actually good.
I wasn't going to
Just
mention.
don't know what
confirm.
happens with live action stuff.
To Seven Deadly Sins credit, they outsourced a bunch of stuff because A1 Pictures, they did the same thing with Darling, where they went bye in the very end stretches for whatever reason. Still don't know the whole story with the Darling thing, but yeah. I'm wondering how so we're all in agreements here that Major's dead.
Oh
Yeah.
the Major
Yeah.
is like
I
very
was like,
dead.
just how like they were hinting, like just not telling her, but it's very obvious that the Major is dead. I'm like, please don't tell this poor girl.
I'm like, guy, you are the worst liar on the planet in that hospital.
Like every time he spoke about Major Gilbert, I could just see the nose growing.
You can see the nose growing, and also I'm not going to respond, but I'm going to put my hands in my pocket so you can't see me fidgeting my fingers that I'm lying.
Like, it's the type of thing, like, she's a child, so it's like, how can you tell a child that type of news?
That's one thing is I wanted to know before I watched this and I saw the photos, and again, Japan and age, oh boy, I thought she was an adult. And now that I'm watching this, she's clearly not.
Japan.
Japan. Whee!
Japan.
Because Yoko Littner's 13. Anyway, do we know what her
Like, her actual
age
age
is?
I want to say she's at most like 16.
That's what I
Question
was
mark?
assuming too, based on how she looks and how she presents herself. But
I mean, she's clearly old enough to be employed somewhere.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if age is going to affect because I don't know.
she was a little child in a war.
She was a little child in a war, and on your synopsis, I don't even know what she is. If I'm being perfectly honest here.
But like towards the end, when we saw those flashbacks, it looks like she was actual human, and she lost her arms. And that's why she has her robotic arms. Like she lost her arms in the war. That's the premise I was getting based on the flashbacks.
That's what I was getting based on the flashbacks too. But then we read that synopsis, and it's people who are employed by his scientists to assist blind people in writing their novels. I'm like, okay, so we go from writing novels to being an ace in a war and walking away from getting your arm blown off. What are you people?
I feel like we're going to slowly learn more as each episode progresses.
That is one thing I'm going to be wondering what the pacing is, because this is 12 episodes?
Yeah.
Yep, 12 episodes, 1 OVA, and 2 movies.
And 2 movies, yeah.
Okay.
Man, this is going to be something else. Just loving my notes. Netflix, really, with the subtitles?
Oh my god, that nose of Pac-Man. Oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
no, he has the nose.
I've always got him!
No.
If anyone has ever seen The Other Guys, I am basically like when Mark Wahlberg throws the little rubber band CD out, and then he gets knocked in the nose, and then Will Ferrell throws the other way. He's like, "I've got 6 CDs up in here. I've always got little rubber band loaded up." But I'm wondering, like, what is our thoughts here on the I'm a weapon, I need to be discarded?
There is a lot of there's a lot of PTSD in that sentiment.
Yeah.
Also, man, this war, I'm going to assume, based on the architecture and the modes of transportation, that this is World War One.
Mhm.
But clearly she's been through a lot.
A lot. And
Like,
go ahead.
I was just assuming that like she only knows about war and like how to fight and to be like a tool. That's why when she refers to like, oh, people call me like his dog. Like that's
Yeah.
all she knew. So once like she found out the war was over, she's like, this is all I know. Like the fight in a war, I don't know what to do in my life now.
Yeah, that's why
So
I'm
it's
wondering.
that type of like thing now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that was again, this whole doctor employment thing has spun my head for a loop. I'm wondering if that was very much he rescued her from something as a kid, and then that's what she grew up knowing, or there was, I don't want to say memory implantation, but basically borderline programming to be able to be just good at a singular task. I don't know.
These are all good questions. Right
Yeah,
now,
I feel like we need more context as we watch.
Yeah. Oh
right
yeah.
now, what I'm thinking is just like straight up, she never had a childhood.
Yeah, because based on the
Yeah.
premise of the type of war, they just use, okay, you're old enough to fight, go fight.
Yeah. Yeah, and the other burning question I have is your body's on fire, like literally, because man, this doctor thing with what they all did with her, I am so interested in. This is the first Fresh Takes where I'm the person that's on the other end of the blinders.
Yeah,
This is
welcome.
weird.
Welcome.
This is weird.
At least you're not alone this time.
Yeah, and I have no one to ask the spoiler questions.
I know we can't do what we did with a comment. Like, okay, let's make a bingo chart.
We can make bets with ourselves. So, okay. Do you think she's a normal human that only knew about war growing up, or there is something else?
I think there is something else.
She is something else, or there is something else?
I think there is something else.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like she is like she is human, but it's just
Okay.
the type of premise she was growing up in kind of forced her to be more like robotic.
Okay. All right. We're going to wait and see. Part of my brain is like, there's something else involved, but I don't know. I've watched too much Gainax and Trigger animes recently to my brain to think properly. But,
Like, I guess the best way to explain is kind of how Akame and her twin, like they were only just like trained to be like assassins and not anything else. So I feel like it's that type of premise with Violet. Like she was just grew up and trained to just be used as a tool for this war and nothing more.
That's kind of how I see it too. At least for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, based on the first episode, it kind of goes towards that.
Yes. And now that I've mentioned Trigger, something happened today. Like, I don't know if it was just a little bit ago, that I want to say, because he's a Trigger guy. I don't know what happened, but rest in peace to Billy Kametz, who voices Galo in Promare, but he also voices Josuke in Part 4.
Yeah, I heard about that earlier.
Josuke!
Yeah.
I've been
So-
like, when this has happened,
Yeah, apparently
I need
they
to
just
look at
found
other.
I literally just got messaged it before this started by Crow.
The English voice actor or the Japanese voice actor?
The English voice actor, Billy Kametz.
Stop.
Yeah. So rest
I
in
have to
peace,
see what
man.
else he did. Oh, no one said he's spaghetti.
Yeah, he did something, and according to his IMDb credits, in the original Neon Genesis. So
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, he's been around for a little bit. He doesn't have the monster credit line that everybody else does, but he's been doing stuff as recent as Promare.
Yeah.
So rest in peace,
Yeah, and
bud.
Part 4 recently got done not too long ago, ironically.
Mm-hmm. But
Shit.
yeah. Anyway, wanted to get that in there before I forgot. Give or take, this is not going to come up for a little bit, so you guys will know exactly around when this got recorded. But anyways, so
Speaking of JoJo, before we start, I already sent out the JoJo meme. Oh, but there's a JoJo reference already.
Talk about it because you'll say it better than I can. Go ahead.
In Part 3, they reference Joseph as like in another life, he was a woman, and they kind of show like the same robotic hand and then bros in the same placement. So that's why people assume that Violet is like Joseph past
Joseph.
life. There was other memes where like asked like the daughter at the time, but it's mostly like Violet is like a female.
Pretty much.
We're reaching here, but it was really funny.
Hey, it's up there. It's fine. But all right.
Oh, don't worry. I will find JoJo references in this goddamn anime. Don't worry.
Oh,
I got you guys. Got you guys.
we can play the game of 6 degrees of JoJo.
Oh it's no longer the, what was that originally? The game where
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon, that's what it was. Thank you. But all right, let's get on out of here. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on Podchaser and the Banana Meter. And we have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And you can listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Absolutely. And Masa?
And you can find me on Twitter at Kiva028.
And you can find me everywhere at Organoid0. And man, I'm happy we finally got a YouTube channel.
Same.
It took long enough, but we got it.
Yay.
All right, everyone. I don't know, but I have a bad feeling I'm going to be crying during this next recording. So, bye.
I'm already emotionally damaged. So what can possibly go wrong now?
Okay. See you guys.